Hey everybody, David R. Becker here with BeckerArt, and today I want to talk about gestures and gesturing seagulls. And I know a lot of times I've talked about gesturing people in your paintings, where you're putting small little objects down there, and you're doing or characteristic people, or Bob's Blobs, or David's Dabs, and that's how to do people. But I want to do seagulls. We are doing a Friday or Thursday paint along this week, and we're gonna have a lot of seagulls in there. And I studied these about 2 years ago in Grand Marais. And like I said, when you're studying something, you kind of memorize them, and you memorize it, and you kind of make a little bit of a plan of how you're doing these things. So I just want to show you how I plan doing seagulls, and a lot of different shapes and styles. And so the first thing I do, and if you want to learn how to do something, go out there and take tons of pictures, sketch it, and actually don't even have to paint it at first, but just sketch them and see how you can simplify the shape of like the seagulls. You don't have to get super detailed. It is nice to learn like really definition and details in the bird, but you don't really need to. Well, it helps. It does help. So here's what I do. I do the wings first. Because either they're flying and their wings are flapping, up and down, and so you have to decide how the wing is. And so when I'm doing a lot of them, I do the wings all over, coming at you, going away from you, going to the side. So let's just and a lot of times you would do like the M. I know a lot of people have said that you do like an M. You do like the letter M. But what I do is the wing is made of like kind of like four parts, and so I do the tip, and then I go back, and let's just do one like flying this way. And so, and can you see that? I'm gonna do it a little bit bigger. And so I do the wing first, and I kind of, each wing has like two parts, and then I take it and just do the wing, like it's flying, or or I'm gonna start with this one too. I'll do one. I always start with the wing, and I do the top of the wing and first, and I kind of do it like that. And this one's going to be more, and it goes down here a little bit, and it goes down. So this one is flying a little bit to this way, and then I don't put the body on. I just do the wing itself. I do the wing, and so that's like the wing, right? And then this one, oh, why would I put so close? Anyway, so I'll put this one, and again, two steps, 1, 2. All right, and so then after I do the wing, let me do a couple more wings, because I want to show you how I can do one. I mean, look at this picture. I can even do one where it's upwards. And I know I have the picture there, but I want you to first study the picture, and then you're going to do it on your own from your imagination. And so, this is like, there's the wings again, right? So different wings. Some are coming straight at you, and that's the M. See, that's the long M. And so I do the wing, and then I found out that all you have to do after you do the wing is you do the body underneath it. And it's just like an oval teardrop, basically. And so underneath here, I just kind of, right in the center of the thing, I do a teardrop. Right? I do a little teardrop. And I'll do this one in here too. See, I just come out a little bit, and I do like a teardrop. And this one, let's make it go in the other direction. So I make it like a teardrop where it's the thicker part is down here, and as it goes back, it goes smaller. And then this one is just rounded, but it's still a teardrop almost upside down. So see, it's just a little bit teardrop. And so now you got the body basically, right? And after you do the body, I do a little head. I just kind of do a little knob here in the front. I just kind of put the head there. And just a little bit around circle basically here. I'm going to put the circle because it's flying straight at you. And then after I do that, I go for the tail. And the tail is usually just a triangle I do. I do a little triangle, or just a little triangle. And sometimes the triangle is, sideways, like foreshortened. And then this one could be like this, triangle. See, so it's just a triangle. So that's the tail, right? And then the final, well, there's two more things. One is the legs. Their legs just hang out on the bottom here. And I just make that a line. And this one's going this way, so I just make them a line. These you don't see because it's straight on, right? And so then I put the beak on. The final thing is I do the beak. And I'm now doing it with pencil only because I want to show you how I would do it later with just when I'm using just paint. And here's this round circle for the beak because you don't see the beak straight on. All right, so that's basically the drawing end of it. And so I'm going to shade it so you can see what's underneath and what's above. And so this is underneath. And then a lot of times and I don't do feathers. These are gestures. These are things that are going to be really small in the back of the painting. I'm doing them large so you can see them a little bit better. Basically, you want them to be nice and small, but just a gesture of the brushstroke. All right, and so let me go a little bit closer on this. And so I just want to show you how I would use it then by using a brush. And I usually use a round brush when I'm doing this. I use just my big brush. And so, and I would use a smaller brush if I was doing it smaller, but I want to show you again. And so again, if I don't draw them, and I don't draw them with pencil first when I'm doing a lot of them, like the ones you see in this picture right here. When I'm doing it like that, when it's that small in the painting, only if they're part of the center of interest do I draw them. But usually you can also draw them if you have to have a cluster of them in a certain way. But if they're just in a distance and stuff, and when there's so many, I may do a couple of them that are bigger, and the small ones, I basically do the same thing. I first start out, and I'm just going to do gray just to show you. Usually they're gray, right? And so you don't need much color on them. And so first thing I'll do is I'll do the wing. And so I'll just kind of, I'll flip it like that, basically. This one I'll do the wing, and I try to do two little areas where there's the front of the wing, and then there's this part that's connected to the body, which is a little bit wider. And then this is going to be, again, two-part, real thin on the end, and then I have it connected to the body. So the wing first, and then I go like this for this one, the M, right? And I know that it looks they're very big. These are very big, and you wouldn't do them this big when you're doing your scene. It would be almost like I do it like this. Sometimes I go really small. That's about how big they really are. But this, I again want to show you with a big brushstroke. Then I do a teardrop, and so that I'm just going to kind of go back here like this. And if you use your brush backwards, you could probably do it in one step. Like if I go teardrop like this, let me go left-handed. So if I go like this, if I just push down my brush, I can almost make a teardrop with my. See, because the brush looks like a teardrop, or I could do it sideways and. Again, bigger to thinner, right? And same thing with here. And like, you don't have to draw this on. You can just, use your brush. And so here, again, right underneath. It's like an airplane, and they have the cabin underneath the wing. Like I think there's a Cessna, I think they're like that, where the wing is above, and then the cabin is below the wing. And that's what really is happening. The wings are on top of the bird. They're on the top of the bird here. And that's what I got by just studying them and sketching them. I realized that the body is underneath the wings. So just make them underneath the wings. And then, like I said, I do the little head. I do a little round. I just kind of do a little round head and put that in the front of the body. And you can put it, anywhere. They can be looking down, up, if they're flying a certain way, kind of straight. But their heads can move, right? Their heads will move around. So you can put them pretty much anywhere. And then I just like to do a little, and actually their feet are usually orangey or yellowy. And so I take a little bit of orange, and I just put orange on the back here for their. And also, if you want to look at the bird itself, like some of the seagulls have the tips of their wings are dark, and the rest of their body are kind of lighter. So if you want to check out there's certain that are white, but then they'll have little tips that are black of their gray and their wings. And I can even color those later, but let me just again show you. So here's the legs. I just put little legs in there. And here you can do really small. You can do this really small. And then their beak is also kind of orangey yellow. That's not all of them. Some of them have like a dark. So it all depends on which kind of seagull. There's like two seagulls I saw like in Grand Marais. If you look at that picture, there's like two of them. One's all gray and one is white. And so you kind of pick your kind you want to put in there. But they're so small when you're doing them in a painting, it really doesn't, you don't have to get that detailed. And then the beak, I just put a little bit of beak in front. And again, this is very big, and so, they have a little hook on the very end on their beak. But again, you're not doing it that much. You're not doing it that detailed. See how those are just brush strokes. And I could go back in there and identify and do a little bit more detail in it, So like I can do the head, I can do the front of the wing a little bit, and underneath I can do underneath the wing a little bit darker. You know, so I can, you know, arrange it so that the tips are a little bit darker. But again, these are big. These are big. This is not gesturing. Well, they are gesturing, but these are the ones that are way in front. The other ones are going to be real far in the back, and so that would be like where the wings are up like this, and you're going to do the thing. And I do it really quickly. I just do it really fast. You know, the head, then the beak. You know, like that fast. And that wing is going to be a little bit thicker. You can also do it downwards, where the wings are down. Let me just do that. Where should I do that? I'll do that right here. So where I do the wings downward, like they're flapping down. And then the body is going to have to go, you have to do the body underneath still, but it's going to be inside the wing. Like then you do the little tail coming out here. And then you do the teardrop inside there. And then the head. And then the beak. So the head is going, or the wings are downwards. And still on top. The wings are still on top of the body. But just a little bit, you got to stop so that you can do the, you could probably do the teardrop first when you're doing that. Is make the teardrop, you know, make the teardrop like this. And thicker on the top, thinner in the back, and then you can do this. But then you can put the wing in afterwards. You know, from the start on the top of the back, and then just bring your wings down. Oops, that's almost out of the picture. All right, so basically that's how I gesture seagulls, and you can make the like go away, come at you. You know, this one was coming at you, right? That you saw. This one's coming at you, and so if I drew them, I would just fill them in with with paint basically, and do enough of these, and just gesture these, and do these before you do them on a painting, so that you can get in a feel of doing a lot of different styles. And take this image. I'm going to blow it up a little bit here. Let me just blow it up for you for a second, and then you'll see. And you can just stop it here and maybe draw those and just see what they look like. All right. Stop the video later on and then just see what they look like. And or Google flying seagulls. And this is for a lot of the birds. Now they're because most of the birds, the wings are on the top. It's really weird, but the wings are on top of their body, and then they're flying and flapping. And so you can do the same thing for just a regular bird too. This, of course, are seagulls, and they're big birds, but you can do it for smaller birds too. All right. So see me on Thursday. Come to my live and watch me do at least 100 birds. And the scene is going to be an evening boat scene, a fishing boat coming in the evening. Or maybe early morning. Basically, mostly they come in early morning, but the sun is just coming up or going down, and we're going to do a bunch of seagulls in there. And so this is how you do them. This is how I do them. I find a very simple way of making the wings first, body, head, feet, and beak. All right. We'll see you Thursday. Stop by. Thanks. Bye-bye.